Middle East war escalates as Israel strikes Beirut and Iran launches missile attacks. The conflict in the Middle East has entered a more dangerous phase as fighting between Iran and a coalition led by the United States and Israel continues to intensify. The war, now in its second week, has expanded beyond initial battle zones and is spreading across the region, raising fears of a wider and more destructive confrontation. Heavy airstrikes and missile attacks have been reported on multiple fronts. Major cities including Tehran and Beirut have experienced intense bombardment as military operations grow in scale and frequency. Iran has launched waves of missiles and drones targeting Israeli territory and several U.S. military facilities in the Gulf region. Air defense systems in Israel have been activated repeatedly to intercept incoming projectiles, while sirens have sounded across several cities. In response to these attacks, Israel has carried out large-scale military operations, including massive airstrikes in southern Beirut. The strikes came after Israeli authorities issued evacuation warnings to civilians living in several neighborhoods believed to contain military infrastructure linked to Hezbollah. Hundreds of thousands of residents were urged to leave the targeted areas before the bombing campaign began. The strikes on Beirut are seen as one of the most significant escalations of the conflict so far. Southern Beirut is known to be a stronghold of Hezbollah, the powerful armed group that has long been involved in hostilities with Israel. Israeli military officials say the operations aim to weaken Hezbollah's military capabilities and prevent further attacks on Israeli territory. However, the expansion of the conflict into Lebanon has raised serious concerns among international observers. Many analysts fear that the involvement of Hezbollah could transform the crisis into a full regional war. Hezbollah possesses a large arsenal of rockets and missiles and has warned that it will respond strongly to Israeli attacks. Meanwhile, Iran continues to demonstrate its military strength by launching advanced missile and drone strikes. Several projectiles have reportedly targeted strategic locations, including military installations used by U.S. forces in the Gulf region. These attacks signal Iran's determination to respond forcefully to what it describes as aggression against its interests and allies. The escalating conflict is already having major global consequences. Energy markets have reacted sharply, with oil prices rising as investors fear disruptions to supplies from the Middle East. The region is home to some of the world's most important oil shipping routes, and any threat to these routes could impact global energy markets. Financial markets have also shown signs of instability as investors monitor developments in the region. Rising tensions, combined with uncertainty about how long the conflict may last, have created concerns about potential economic impacts worldwide. Humanitarian worries are also growing. Thousands of civilians have been forced to flee their homes in areas affected by the airstrikes and missile attacks. Hospitals in several cities are struggling to treat the increasing number of casualties, while emergency services are working around the clock to rescue survivors and assist displaced families. International leaders are calling for urgent efforts to prevent further escalation. Diplomatic channels remain active, with several countries urging all parties to reduce tensions and return to negotiations. However, with both sides continuing military operations, the possibility of a quick resolution appears uncertain. As the situation continues to evolve, the Middle East stands at a critical moment. The expansion of the conflict beyond its initial boundaries suggests that the coming days could be decisive in determining whether the crisis moves toward de-escalation or grows into a broader regional war.